Susan Kihika yesterday came out and rushed at Raila Amolo Odinga, telling him to shut down. Kihika did this after Raila Amolo Odinga told the US ambassador to Kenya to shut his mouth after he gave a comment that anchored Raila Amolo Odinga. But Susan Kihika actually fueled the United States ambassador to Kenya as a person who was promoting Kenya to the outside world positively. And if you add what the American ambassador was doing, you could find that in greater length that the US ambassador was trying to market Kenya to the international community. But the only part that made Raila Amolo Odinga to be anchored is the political side, where the US ambassador came out to say that the last year election was fairest, free, and credible that Kenya ever had. I think that is the part, that the political side is the side which anchored Raila Amolo Odinga. Until Raila told the US ambassador that we can tell your country to recall you back to your country. But Susan Kihika came out in a very strong way to tell Raila Amolo Odinga to shut his mouth, because he didn't expect Raila Amolo Odinga to come after the US ambassador. So let me give you a clip of what Susan Kihika told Raila Amolo Odinga. Please listen to this keenly.
I'm sure he would not have used the words he used this afternoon. It's actually quite unfortunate to hear a man at such level talk about an ambassador and tell an ambassador to shut up. Perhaps it's time for me to tell Mr. Odinga to shut up. Because if he had really had what she presented, he would have seen that she is the best actually ambassador, not for the US to Kenya, but like a Kenyan ambassador. She represents and talks about Kenya in a more positive and patriotic way than most Kenyans that I know. So it is quite surprising, it is quite unfortunate, and for a leader that we respect, we also expect you to respect others. As far as the national government and county governments, it is a time in history, 10 years later, when we have such good collaboration between the national and county governments. So when a leader is trying to incite against the national government helping in distribution of fertilizer and bringing it down to 2,500, then you wonder, does this leader really mean well for Kenya? So from the speech, from everything we have seen today, it does not seem as though he means well for Kenya. And going forward, I would hope that he takes a break and looks at himself and listens to himself a bit and puts Kenya above himself, because Kenya is bigger than Mr. Raila Odinga.
So that is what Susan Kihika had to tell Raila Amolo Odinga. And I will give you also the other clip so that you can hear why Raila Amolo Odinga was bitter at the US envoy until he told her that we can tell your country to recall you back. And I will also give you the clip of Raila Amolo Odinga telling the US ambassador that you must shut your mouth. So these two clips will be coming to you bamba to bamba, from one clip to the other clip. So listen to this carefully also.
Let me unpack a couple of these areas. Democracy. I arrived in Kenya days before the August 22 general elections. What I witnessed was nothing short of remarkable. Kenya held what many analysts and commentators say was the freest, fairest, and most credible election in Kenyan history. The elections were observed by international and local election organizations, and the results were upheld by the Kenyan Supreme Court, and power was transferred orderly and peacefully at the time.
Finally, I want to tell a rogue ambassador, leave Kenyans alone. If Mandamano can lead to dialogue between Ichungwa and Kalonzo, everything is good with Mandamano. Tell the rogue ambassador, Kenya is not United States. Kenya is not a colony of United States. Keep your mouth shut when you hear. Otherwise, we will call for your recall back to your country. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
So, after listening to Susan Kihika, the governor of Nakuru, after listening to the ambassador, the US ambassador, Mega Whitman, and after listening to Raila Amolo Odinga, what do you have to say? What will be your conclusion? I would like you to drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to bump into this YouTube channel, kindly take your time and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And another thing which I want to talk about these clips. I want to talk from the side of Raila Amolo Odinga. Is it going to be very easy for you to recall the US ambassador? From my side, I don't think it is an easy thing, because this US ambassador, he worked for Biden, and he is not a very small person as you think. And being put to be the ambassador of Kenya is actually what he worked for. I think the lady also funded the Biden campaign, and this lady is a very rich lady, because I think the lady is worthy 3 billion US dollars. So it's not easy to tell the President of the United States to recall his ambassador back home. But if Raila Amolo Odinga can sustain this talk, then definitely, at long last, the ambassador might be recalled. So that's what I have for you today. And I ask you, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video to your friends, ask your friend to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I want to build a big YouTube where we can come and discuss about politics. And with that, I say adios.